old.
Right. Like, you're going to get some DMP olds out of Ginobili,
Tony Parker,
and all those guys. You got it from Tim Duncan and Boris Diaw and all those guys in years past. Like the Sixers are going to operate in what's in the best interest of the Sixers. And for the Sixers, if you have a guy who is on a minutes restriction because of quote unquote sports science, it was in their best interest to hold him out of the Wizards game and play him in the national television game versus Karl Anthony Towns and the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's just business.
No, I'm of. There is no such thing for me this season anyway to holding out Joel Embiid too much. Like
because you're scared though.
No, but
don't be scared.
But that's like I mean, if the goal is to find a franchise player who can play for a long time, him not playing against the Wizards isn't even part of the equation for me.
Yeah, it's like not even like it doesn't even register for me. And again, we feel bad for everybody who
Little Joey.
Tickets. We feel bad for little Joey. We feel bad for little Janie. We feel bad for everybody out there who this might have been their one time they were going to go down to the Sixers.
Oh no, I know someone who was really hyped because they got they were free, but like but it's like, yo, I'm pumped. I get to see Embiid, and then I have to break it to him around 3. Be like,
nah, fam,
nah. You're not seeing Embiid. You're seeing franchise player 1.3 Jahlil Okafor.
Yeah, like you're not seeing Joe. You're seeing Ja. It's a little bit of a difference. Like I didn't misspeak. Not Joe. Ja.
No, and but for the average fan, that's a drastic difference because if you're because if I was the Domingo family and like I got the wifey and like Chris Jr. and Christine, like tickets, and Joel Embiid, I'm checking Twitter at 3 and he's not playing. I'm mad.
and rightfully so. And again, but that's part of the deal. Like when you buy,
I'll stop being mad in the morning. Like I mean, it's one of those things where like
you understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and look, Marshall Harris on CSN Philly and WIP, he said it best. He's like, look. If your main goal or main concern in watching the Sixers is to check out Joel Embiid, wait until the day of. Wait until the morning of the game, find out if he's playing, and then buy your tickets.
But that being said, the Sixers have so little, like I said, goodwill or like benefit of the doubt, where like they just have to just take
another one.
Hold this L.
Another one.
You hold this L and just put it in the closet full of losses that you had for 3 years. Because at some point, they will have, by the mercy of God, will have goodwill.
2020.
Just not now, and maybe they'll have it January 15th.
2020?
No, when Ben Simmons gets
back.
Benji
comes back. When Ben comes back, I'm putting it out there for the folks. Ben Simmons coming back on Martin Luther King Day in 2017. Everybody's coming back, man.
Great.
The band's back.
Now I need to like schedule off because I've talked to people and they know people who have tickets and they're like, I'm gonna hold off on my obligados until because who wants to spend time going to a Sixers game? Like even for Embiid, I mean,
I would go, but I mean, like I'm not breaking my neck to go. Yeah,
again, it's the beauty of cable television.
Absolutely right. And the people who were like, oh man, the Sixers, should have played Embiid at a home game and not play him on the road again. This is the same team that is the only team in professional sports that put all of its tickets on StubHub. They have variable pricing for every single game. You absolutely have zero idea how much a Sixers ticket is worth because they haven't set a price for any of these tickets.
That is the most unheard of thing I can ever imagine.
They're going to do you a solid and play Embiid? Okay. This is the same team that told 7th Streeter, yo, you need to change clothes before you go out because we don't want you singing the anthem in your shirt. They're the ones who are going to do you a solid? Okay. All
once
right,
again,
keep waiting for that.
Once again, the closet full of L's will be full by the time, like at some point, the L's will just fall out of the closet and you'll have to just, like, you'll have to make L's into W's. Like, I don't know, like, you'll have to take those,
take the two L's and put them together and make a big W.
Like a crooked W, but a W.
It's a W nonetheless. But you know what? There's a time for L's, but there's plenty of stuff to be thankful for as well in Philadelphia sports. And when you look at the sports landscape, there's a lot of things that we can look at and say, you know what? Like, this is good. Like, this is good now. This is good for the future. We have a positive. There's the seeds that are growing, in the acres of diamonds, if you will, to borrow.
When we're
from Russell
saying
Conwell.
Philly sports grace, what are we like when we like say Philly grace? What are we like saying? We are thankful for A, B, and C.
Yeah, because my mom makes us go around the table and say what we're thankful for, and we've been doing that for years. And
but
so
obviously, we won't be able to. When I go to mine, I can't say Carson Wentz, or I'll be laughed at.
Yeah, but you can't say, Mom, I'm thankful for Jordan Hicks or whatever. But you can say it here though, and that's the number one.
Yeah,
thing.
we're at a table right now.
Yes, we are at the table. We're at Meemaw's house. There's, again, the beans, greens, tomatoes, potatoes, as Charlie Caesar would say. There's all the food around the table. There's the yams. Are you a sweet potato pie guy?
No.
You're not a sweet potato pie?
No.
All right, this is the last episode of Broad Street Line, ladies and gentlemen.
Once again, this is
one.
the same guy who didn't like Tasty Cake.
I'm sorry, you don't like Tasty Cakes. You're just all over them.
I know, but no, I like my regular ham, turkey, potato, stuffing.
That's it. No sweets?
Nah, I'm not. I like pecan pie.
So I know you're a corn guy.
Yeah, I love corn, but not sweet. I don't like sweet potato anything.
No pumpkin pie. No sweet potato.
No.
Apple pie.
A little bit. Told you, man.
Weird,
You're
man.
exposing me right now for being a weirdo.
This is weird. Again, this may or may not be the last episode here on 106.5 FM.
But right now we're about to hand over the sweet potato pie to Grandma Red.
Yes.
But before that we have to say, all right,
bow our heads.
Yeah, bow our heads and pray for Philly Jesus' blessing.
We need all the grace, all the goodness to be bestowed upon these people, because we have a lot of young talent in Philadelphia sports. I don't want any more injuries. Please, God, please protect the bodies of Shane Gostisbehere, Ivan Provorov, Travis Konechny with the Flyers, and
most importantly,
we'll get to them. We'll get to those guys. We with the Flyers or with the Phillies?
With the Sixers.
Oh, we'll get to those guys. Pray for Mikael Franco, Aaron Nola. We'll talk about the guys on the farm in a second. Pray for all those dudes. Obviously, Carson Wentz, Jordan Matthews, Jordan Hicks, Ben Simmons, if he's here at any time in the future, Jahlil Okafor, maybe powerhouse himself, Nerlens Noel, and probably most importantly, Joel Embiid. Pray for their health and safety. Whatever sports science needs to be done, please let it be done, so that we don't break anything, we don't tear anything, we don't pull anything. None of that happens. We can all agree on that, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely on that. But there's also young talent coming up as well that we need to pray for. Like the Flyers, the Flyers have a bunch of guys in their farm system. The Phillies have the best farm system in Major League Baseball, and I think we've talked about this on the show. When was the last time you could say that? Was it before the run?
This front office didn't know what warp was 3 years ago.
No. Warp wasn't the thing in Mario World, or Super Mario Brothers, where you can go from level 4-2 to level 8-1. That wasn't Warp. That's not Warp.
They thought Whip was that Devo song.
Yeah, no. This ain't
or Whip Appeal.
Yeah, this ain't Babyface Whip Appeal. They actually know
or
advanced numbers.
Cool Whip.
Cool Whip. Yeah, these aren't the advanced. The Phillies didn't know what advanced statistics were. Now they have a farm system loaded with guys who are good when it comes to Whip, who are good when it comes to Warp and Vorp and all that stuff, all that good stuff. Phillies are loaded. The Flyers are loaded. Sixers have a couple of picks in the future. The Eagles got their first-round pick back that they traded in order to get their guy who's going to set them up for the future.
And also, with the recent developments of the Vikings, could be a relatively high pick.
Could be a very high pick. So, again, the Eagles, all four teams are looking pretty good.
Yeah, because right now I think we can say that most teams are in the slightly above infancy stage of a rebuild. They're not infant. They're
they're walking.
Yeah. I'd say they're a little maybe at the terrible twos.
Yeah, they're toddling around. They're walking around. They can talk. They can tell you certain things. We're potty training a couple of these teams, but it'll get there.
Oh, but they're still pooping their pants.
Yeah. I mean, they're still doing things that kids in their teens still do.
We want them to be self-sufficient adults.
Absolutely right. We have things to talk about, though, to be thankful for other than the major sports teams. Danny Swift Garcia, just the other night, defended his title. He's a super lightweight champion, the boxer. 33-0, another successful title defense at the Leah Core Center. Again, we are home to a world champion boxer. I mean, the Philadelphia, going back, to Joe Frazier and even before that, has been the city of boxers. I mean, for years and years and years, David Reed, guys like that. They've been
Bernard, the Executioner Hopkins.
Bernard Hopkins. I mean, this is a boxing town. This is a fighting town. And we can sit there and say we have a world champion boxer in Danny Garcia, an undefeated champion in Danny Swift Garcia. Also, I just saw the other day, we don't talk a lot of soccer on the show at all. Andre Blake of the Philadelphia Union, he won the MLS Goalkeeper of the Year award 2 days ago. The Flyers haven't been able to find a goalkeeper or goaltender for years, but at least our soccer team's got one, right? It's a good thing that there's one good goalkeeper in the city of Philadelphia. It's a beautiful thing.
I'm telling you, like, I mean, Philadelphia, I mean, the sports history of Philadelphia, I mean, you could really just write books about it.
Yeah,
I mean, because, there have been.
There have been, yeah. There absolutely have been. And the final thing we'll talk about before we take a break, the Villanova Wildcats, who, oh, by the way, won the national championship back in April, which, quite frankly, and look, I'm not a Villanova fan. I will never be a Villanova fan because I went to Temple. I don't think we've talked enough about Villanova winning the title. I don't think we have.
No, I mean,
not us, you and me. I mean, like, everybody.
No, I mean, you could argue it was the greatest end to it was probably, if you had to think of the greatest ends to a championship game, sports game, top 15. It's a walk-off. You might see a walk to a walk-off to a walk-off, right, where, like, it's maybe the play before the end. Right. The ones you can think about in basketball anyway are Christian Laettner. Right. This was to win the championship.
Yes.
This wasn't to get to the final. We ain't talking about Final Four.
No.
We ain't talking about Elite Eight. We talking about the championship. They would have lost the game.
You saw a championship shot. Like you saw a 35-foot running three-pointer to win the championship at the buzzer.
And it wasn't like if he missed it, they were going to go in overtime. No. They were going to lose the game.
Yeah, like the game flipped on this shot. Villanova wins a title. Like, if that happened, and we're both Temple alum, Chris and I are both Temple alums, if that happened to the Temple Owls in the national championship game, first of all, I'd probably call out of work for 2 weeks. I would introduce myself as a Temple Owl. Oh, by the way, 2016 national champions, holla at your boy. Like, I would talk about it for the rest of my life.
Yeah, no,
I'd be ignorant about it.
No, I totally agree with that. Like, I think it's the whole, like, people slight Villanova for not being here. Frankly, I think it's a lot of people who are jealous.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the main point is they don't want to give a city school that's not a city school props, because to be honest, I think the Villanova championship gets more dap across the country than it does in Philly.
Yeah, and like,
because you see them going to the ESPYs. Like, I mean, like, people are acknowledging, because it was, I can't remember. I'm telling you, other than Laettner and
basketball wise, or
in sports,
I mean, like Joe Carter.
But, like, they were leading. They had a 3-2 series lead. That would have been like if he would have hit it if it was Game 7 and they were down.
So you mean like flip the series, like the Ray Allen 3?
Yes,
like the Ray Allen 3. The Ray Allen when he hit the 3 for the Heat in the finals against the Spurs when they were wheeling the trophy out onto the court, like because the Heat effectively had lost the game. Like, the game was over.
Another one I can think of, Roy, is the Ben Roethlisberger Santonio Holmes play.
Yeah, that play in the Super Bowl.
Same with the Giants Pats, the first one.
Right.
Like, that was like, oh my God, like you are one play from either winning or losing. No, but I'm telling you, nothing would tops this. This was like 3 seconds. Like, at least with like the Steelers, there was time.
There was time left, right?
There was.
This is it. This is this or nothing. And again, we don't talk. And again, as much as I hate to give Villanova props or whatever, because
if you were a Villanova alum, if you were a Villanova like student if you were a student last year when they won, would this like literally make your college life?
Oh, absolutely! Like my college life was made by beating Michigan State in the regular
just
season.
Just like we always say, we love Temple. We're alums and we're employed there, and we love it.
Yes.
But we wish that you could get that feeling. We're like, I mean, even those people at Penn State, like, that beat Ohio State. I mean, those kids 10 years from now will be like, I was at that game when they upset Ohio State.
Well, it's not even just being at that game. It's like this is my squad.
Yes.
Like, this is my squad. These are my dudes right here. Like you see Chris Jenkins go into class. That dude, that's the guy who hit the 35-footer to win your school a national championship. Like Villanova, like little Villanova on the main line won a national championship. I'd be the most impossible person ever. I really would be.
And I think this cements Jay Wright's legacy as just frankly, an all-time coach.
Oh yeah, no, Jay Wright, he is one of the greatest coaches that this city has ever seen.
Great dresser too.
Great dresser. He's got into a couple of Final Fours. Now he's got a title.
He's